What's up, guys? Continuing on with the Chicago regional coverage, I have Ken Tober, Scheherazade, the teller of 1001 Stories deck profile, which he used to get third. I have to say that from any deck profile I've done from either of the regionals now, so that's going to be almost 16 of them really soon, this has got to be my favorite deck profile of all, and I'm going to explain as I go, so let's check it out. So for his magic stones, he ran a Fiethsing, which is of course great because he can use this either turn 1 or with Liberator, or just good overall mid game. He also ran a Group Ballista and a magic stone of Scorched Bales, so that's like the non-multiple stones, and then 4 of Blasting Waves and 4 of Black Silence. So 11 stones in total. I don't think that's bad. I've done that before too, so I really like that he had the Scorched Bales just in case he needed a fire or black as well. His Resonator lineup is where I fell in love because I've been trying to do this for so long, but I've been focusing so much on Persona Grim that I haven't had a chance to play Liberator. But he had 4 Familiar of Holy Winds, which I keep arguing I think is so much better than Gretel, and that's his only 1-drop. No Elvish Priest, no Gretels, which once again, I think people are really overhyping ramp. It's not so important because by the time you spend, your first turn you're using Elvish Priest, second turn you're using Gretel, trying to maybe go into some people play Guardio for Abdul. There's a lot of things that people try to do with ramp, but it's just so slow. Familiar of Holy Wind, you drop it, you draw a card, it's now possible removal for middle game. And then for his 2-drop, he has Laura, which once again replaces itself. Every play he makes gives him something new, which is really cool. It's nice to know that his hand's always going to be full, he's always going to have something to do, and because it's Scheherazade, even if he was going against Pandora and they discard his hand, he could J-activate, search something, use it, and then just activate to draw 2 cards anyway. So it's just really strong to think that he's just going for as much plus as he can get with so much removal that it doesn't really matter whether he's ramped or not. And then he had the Flame Spirit. This was, I think, a kind of optional choice. I don't personally like this. Even if it becomes super beefy, even if it was 2000, of course he has Fiethsing to protect it, but there was just something, I don't know. I don't like situationary cards like this. I don't like the possibility that if they use Abdul, it just negates it and now he's a 0 attack. I wouldn't have ran this, but in general, it's probably a cool tech. He probably could search it out with Scheherazade too. Maybe that's what he was going for. He didn't really see it too often, and it was just, there just in case. And then he has 3-0, which of course nobody can argue that 0 is a bad card. Not only is it a really good chump blocker for Mephistopheles because it takes away the flying, which then you can respond with Flame, but it's generally just a really good removal card for all those Gretels and stuff everyone's using anyway, and it's just a great card. 700 instant cast, 200 to everything, that's great. And then 4 Fiethsings. So this is kind of similar to what I have an idea for 6 Ages coming out, which I'll post that deck list possibly on the first day of MOA, maybe the second. Depends on how fast I can get the cards, but I like the idea that he was just playing an insane amount of quick cast monsters that'll just take out attacking monsters, especially the little ones, and then he could just use all the removal to get rid of everything else. And then, of course, Laura searches 3 Carmilla. So Carmilla is a great answer for Mephistopheles, which can't be protected by Fiethsing. The only thing you can do against this is Zeeks, so if you don't happen to Zeeks it, the entry's going off anyway. And 1 Blazer, which I'm sure he searched for his win condition. It's really hard to get Blazer off the field because unless you have, let's say, Zeeks to stop its actual summon or something like that, it's just going to keep coming back, and it's a great way to win with Scheherazade anyway. He didn't have any Mephistopheles at all. It was actually really important to note too. So no Gretels, no Elvish Priest, no Mephistopheles, so that's really cool. For his spells, he ran 2 Slippers of Cinderella for early game removal for all those Elvish Priests. I'm pretty sure that's what he kept before that everyone else was using, which I really like because this is such an anti-typical deck. It's so creative and so well thought out that I can really appreciate that. Anyone that knows me knows that even if I play against someone that I beat and they were using something really creative and I was using like back in the day I used to use Green Grim, I would win and just feel awful because I was like, that guy's deck is so much cooler than mine. I just have this bland thing that everyone else is using, and I can appreciate that guy's deck so much more. So that's how I feel about this, and when I made Persona Grim, that's kind of what I was going for. I wanted to be known for being creative instead of just winning. I know it's silly to say, and I'm not trying to use this as an excuse for whether or not I've topped any events or not, but I'd rather get, let's say, top 8 with something really ridiculously creative that everyone's going to be talking about, rather than just get first place with Abdul Control and everyone go, oh, okay, I'm just going to skim through this list. He didn't do anything different, move on, nothing great there. So Personally, I just feel like, I don't know, creativity is really key, especially in a cool game like this. And then 4 Flame of Outer World. And then 4 Absolute Cake Zone. I think if I'm not mistaken, the reason why he played this is because, like I said, how Blazer and that Flame Spirit was his main win conditions, he probably wanted to make sure that the Zeexes for those cards were negated with Absolute Cake Zone, and then if they try to stoning or anything after that for like the Flame Spirit, he would protect it, and with Blazer it doesn't really matter because it's going to come back. And then 4 Exceed, which is of course draw Fiethsing because he uses 4, and it can negate it cancels summons and spells, which can further protect Blazer and the Flame Spirit, and no Zeeks, so that's really interesting too. He didn't have any Zeeks, no Grettles, no Elvish Priest. This deck is just extremely creative, and I can't get over how awesome it is. And then the last card is 3 Stories of 1001 Nights, because of course this card is ridiculous with Scheherazade. Being able to remove every copy of someone's Mephistopheles for the most part wins you the entire game. And of course with that many Exceeds and Cake Zones, he can always respond to the opponent's Cake Zone on this card. So I just think it was really, really cool to see this deck. I think more people have to go out of their way to make creative deck lists like this, because getting 3rd place with this is awesome, because I'm pretty sure there was enough people for him to get his trip to Japan anyway, even though he didn't get 1st place. And he, you know, got someone's attention like me, where I just saw this and I was like, wow, this is incredible. This deck is just so interesting. So yeah, let's move on to the side deck. For his side deck, he had a Helsing, 3 Elvish Bowman, 4th Zero, which I would have ran over the Flame Spirit personally, another Blazer just in case you need another one, a 3rd Slippers of Cinderella, which of course also takes out like Tinkerbell that's dropped turn 1 or 2 with 2 Fairy Tales for Oddwim or Marcher. 3 Stoning Cadets on the side. He had Carmilla, so I guess he thought he had enough removal, but I would have still probably main deck 2. I would have probably taken out 1 Cake Zone and Exceed for 2 of these. 3 Robe of the Fire Rat for Blazer, and 2 Death Sentence of the Queen, which destroys if an opponent's Resonator attacks, it destroys a non-attacking Resonator, so it's just removal either way. You get rid of at least 1 or 2 cards, so it's just extra removal. So one final congratulations to Tober for rocking such an awesome deck for the Chicago Regionals. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, make sure you do so all my future videos come straight to you with 2nd and 1st places deck profiles and all the awesome coverage coming from everything coming out next week. And I will catch you guys next time.